Sue Powell comes on the air a lot of times with us. She's with us about once a week at ABC7, and she brings these wonderful animals in. She'll bring cats, and she'll bring in, did you ever bring in a ferret? I think I remember holding a ferret once upon a time. And I have to say that we had Maggie on this particular afternoon, and this was just a couple of weeks ago. And Maggie had been in the center far too long, and we went on the air with Maggie, and Maggie got adopted that afternoon, along with Nina and a couple of other people, or a couple, they are people to me, but a couple of other dogs also got adopted out. So ABC7 has been instrumental in getting these animals on the air, and a lot of warm-hearted people have invited them into their homes, and we're so delighted with that. Now, at this time, I would like to welcome Amy Vandell, the Executive Director of the Humane Society of Manatee County, up to the platform because she is going to get our program started for you. I hope you're enjoying the meal today because it sure is fabulous. I thought it was wonderful, and we're just so glad you're here. And now your Executive Director, Amy Vandell.
I'm so thrilled to have all of you here, and particularly to have Wendy come and host, as they have had our animals from the Humane Society on for how many years, would you say, Sue? At least 10 years. It has led to many, many forever homes. And Sue Powell is right over there. She's the one who, you know, there's a trick to taking animals on TV. I had to do it once. First of all, you have to drive there with them in your car. You have to get out in the parking lot. You have to come in to the studio and find out where to go. And she's done it with everybody, from big pit bulls to cats to all of them. And so we thank Sue very much for what she does at the Humane Society, one of our adoption counselors. It's a beautiful day here at Mixon's. If you haven't been here before, what a fabulous place. And we want to thank them for hosting this for us. Yay! And we couldn't make this possible without the sponsors of today's event, which is Mario, the makers of HeartGuard and Frontline, and Rob Hayden is here. I'd like to give a shout out to him right up there. And the reason I know you're all here, Hickory Hollow Barbecue on 301 in Ellington. If you haven't been there, we know you'll be going now. Wonderful. North Carolina barbecue, closed on Mondays. They don't take credit cards, but get it on your schedule because you will love it. They have even more than what they've been able to bring here for us today. So they really made it possible for us to thank you in a way that we haven't been able to do before. There's so many people to thank, so many organizations, sponsors, business partners, media partners, foundations, granting organizations. We have some representation from many, many, many organizations. And we're so glad that you're here so that we can say thank you properly for all you do to help us do the work that we love to do at the Humane Society. The grants that we get from foundations allow us to give spay-neuter surgery for free at a reduced cost. We have grants from Manatee County for low-income residents in Manatee County to get their pets spayed and neutered. We had assistance from the Downtown Development Authority to improve our property with a lovely fence and make it safer for our animals. We got a grant to refurbish our kennels from the W.W. Granger Foundation very recently, new friends of ours in the community, and Sue Eisenhardt is here from there. And that's underway right now, and it's just looking fabulous. So we have lots of things to be very happy about. We got new computers this year from a grant from the Manatee Community Foundation. So we are just really, really pleased with all that we're able to do. And it is also that we can find more forever homes and reduce the unwanted litters of puppies and kittens in Manatee County to achieve, hopefully, that mission of no kill that we're working hard towards. Of course, we couldn't do it without our wonderful staff, which is a lean, mean operating machine. They do a fantastic job, and they always have the animals first and foremost in their care and in their minds. This year, we have some great numbers to report. We did almost 6,000 spay and neuter surgeries in our low-cost clinic, 5,947 to be exact, bringing our total to over 18,000 done since we opened in April of 2009 as a Humane Alliance clinic. Thank you. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, doing surgery all day long. We also have doubled the number of dogs adopted this year, and half again as many cats were adopted this year as to last year. And a lot of that credit goes to our wonderful animal care staff and Travis Jones, who is sitting right over there, our shelter manager, and you'll see her later in the video that we're going to see. So I just want to say thank you. That's my role here today, and I'm going to turn it over to somebody who's professional at this, back to Wendy.
Our next person is somebody that many of you have heard, the name Neil Holmes, of course, and John Neal is with us here today, and he is going to be talking about the Humane Society, the longtime supporters of the Humane Society, and he has some other comments that he's going to be making with John Neal Holmes. Mr. Neal.
For those that don't know me, I'm a small home builder and community developer in Manatee, Sarasota County area, and well, I think primarily what I do is build communities, and this is something that we're talking about today. The idea of a no-kill community is really something that's about building this community. It's something that's very special, and I'm not sure that everybody recognizes how special it is. Some of the things that we're doing here are, this no-kill community idea is something that great cities in America have tried and failed. I mean, think of all of the communities in this country which have been working for a plan for no-kill and haven't gotten there. I think there's a few that have. Richmond, Virginia is a notable one, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. San Francisco, California, they're a little crazy out there, but you could see how this would be something that would be pretty important. What's another one, Rebecca? What's a? Austin. Yep, Austin, Texas. You know, these are San Francisco, Austin, Texas, Richmond, Virginia, and Bradenton. I mean, that puts us in a pretty good company, doesn't it? My role here today at this microphone is to thank you, the people sitting at the tables here, and also those who couldn't be available, your companies, the people that you've talked to, for really making this possible. The Humane Society is, after all, the #1 resource in this community for information on making no-kill possible. Let me say that again. The Humane Society of Manatee County is the #1 resource that this community has to make what we're doing possible. They developed a plan. They convinced people. They obviously got to all of you and they talked to you, and so you should be very proud that you were willing to put your time on the line, take out your checkbook, to donate money, to do things for this group that hadn't really proven that they could do anything yet, but which we have and which we're continuing to do. I think that the possibilities are pretty amazing. What you don't really know, and what I sort of skipped over in my speech here, is that well, what many of you don't know is that Rebecca and I have been doing this for a long time. I was thinking about it on the drive over here. I think it's like 15 years. Oh my God. Well, 10 in Manatee County, but for 5 years before that in Richmond, Virginia, where we really saw this plan put into action by people just like you living in a community 1,200 miles away. They sort of went against the flow. They said, wait a minute, let's take another look at the way that we are treating unwanted animals in our community, and let's do something different. Let's go down a path where other people are not going and see if we can do it differently. And I want to thank the Commissioner Chappie, who's here. I wish that Carol Whitmore could have been here, because it's one thing for a private citizen to take a risk. It's another thing for a government manager or a commissioner to put their neck on the line and say, hey, everybody else is doing it wrong, we're doing it right. You could see, I just want to give a little clap for you and for them to thank you very. Again, the hardest part is with this no-kill community idea in Richmond or in Austin, Texas, or in San Francisco is always changing people's minds, like the idea of focusing on spay and neuter instead of just rehoming and adoption. We have a beautiful little it's Dixie, it's a Pomeranian pet. I've been parading them around. There are thousands of pets like this in this community, and we just can't adopt them all. But what we can do is prevent future litters, and I wasn't sure that Amy had made that connection. I think a lot of you understand that, but if you spay and neuter a pet, you prevent 6 more pets next year, and then six from them, 36, and so on and so forth. So really, focusing on spay and neuter is a great program. I see Chris Weiskopf, who's stuck in the back. I didn't see you or recognize you earlier. Also focusing on TNR. Are there some TNR folks in here? Okay, I didn't see her. Yeah, I'll clap for that. And also, so the TNR, and also focusing on education for people who already have pets. They have a problem pet, they're having trouble feeding their pet, they're having these other problems. These are areas that your donations go to help keep animals in their home, and that's well, that should be the easiest one, right? If the pet already has a home, all we need to do is figure out a way to make him able to stay there. So in a nutshell, I applaud you, I applaud the managers here for making the commitment that very few people have made. I want your help in staying on this path. Help means money, time, other uncomfortable things that you have to give up, but we want you to know that it's recognized and appreciated. So thank you very much. That's it for me, Wendy. You're up.
Well, recently, several people who have ties to the Humane Society have agreed to be filmed in an interview. And the Visual Harmony Productions have put their candid remarks together for you in a very moving video that we want you to see. It'll be coming up on the screen over here. So let's take a look at it. It is entitled, Because of You.
Donations are absolutely a vital part of our organization. We run 100% on donations. We don't get any government funding. So this whole organization runs on donations from the public. The average cost of an animal coming in that needs all the services on intake and so forth costs about $400. We do work with Manatee County Animal Services, although they're striving to go no-kill and doing a wonderful job at that. Ultimately, if people don't have the time and resources to wait around for a space to open up, the pets do wind up, as a last resort, having to go to animal services. Sometimes people come to the shelter and assume we're already a no-kill community. That is a misconception. We're not quite there. The save rates are improving with adoptions, promoting the word of spay and neutering pets, getting people involved in foster care. That's really the things that are going to help us get there.
We had 4 cats for the last 20 years. And when the last one died, which was Rambo, our little boy cat, we went a couple of months and we decided that, you know, we needed another pet. Well, she's just like another person, like a child for us that we can take care of. If I have to be gone, my husband says, I'm going to stay home with Crystal because I don't want her to be here by herself. So it's just, and it's good for our age that we have something that we can look after and take care of, and she acts as though she really, really appreciates it. Instead of trying to donate to other humane societies like the U.S., we know that that money doesn't come down to the local. And I at least know that when I donate locally, that that's where it's going to go.
My dad, who was a prince of a man, once said, it's better to give than receive. And today, I've given a lot to family and friends, and I receive pleasure from these little animals. And the thing now that gives me the most pleasure is my little pet. And I see so many being ill-treated. Perhaps an older person can't take care of them and they have no home. So I intend for the bulk of what I'm going to leave to help the Humane Society of Bradenton, Manatee County, take care of more little animals and give more people joy. When I'm gone, I'll give to them.
About 2 years ago, we adopted Hank and Evan from here. And we were just impressed with the facility and how healthy and happy the animals were and how clean the facility was, so we knew we wanted to come back when we decided to adopt the third. I've always liked people names for my cats. So on the car ride over, I was debating names and such, and I came up with the name Joey. So when we came here, I was looking around at all the cats, and the same cage that we had adopted our 2 previous cats from, there was a cat named Joey. So it just seemed perfect, and when we took him out to play, he was happy and fun, and he's just awesome. He's always in my face when I wake up in the morning, but I love it.
JC came to the shelter. She was actually abandoned in a cardboard box with her mother. Her mother did have a blood disease and she wound up passing away.
Recently I was looking to foster again, and I called too late and they didn't have much, but turned out Travis called me back with this one kitty that she had. At the time I called to foster, but once she was home and she showed me her personality, I just couldn't let her go. She just had to stay. In fact, I had a bargain with my husband because now I have the 3rd cat, but I won. And her name is Lucy Lou. Humane Society does an amazing amount of work in caring for their animals, and they need all the help they can get. And I just assumed as a local resident that maybe they got some of their money from taxes, but they don't. And without those grants and donations and sponsors, I don't think manatees could survive.
When Horton came to the shelter, he pretty much didn't have any fur at all. He had terrible demodex, he had kennel cough. He seemed like he just didn't have any self-confidence. We didn't even know what color to pick for him when we had to put in the computer what color he was because he didn't have any fur whatsoever. Horton was actually on the euthanasia list at another shelter. He was about to be put down that day. He was a shelter favorite and they were so sad that it was his time to be put down, and we just happened to have a space available, so we were happy to do so.
As soon as I saw him, me and him got eye contact, and that was it. He was my dog. Everybody says, "What's your dog's name?" I say, "Horton." Doesn't he look like a Horton? And he loves a who. You know, that's his toy's name. Yeah, I've got the little dog that bosses him. I got the grandchildren that he gets very well with. The other dogs, you know, my kids have dogs. And he gets along with everybody, even the stray cats. Look at him. You guys have done such a wonderful job, and you've taken care of him. His skin was such a mess, and look what a great dog he is. I used to come home, you know, and go, well, I'm just coming home. Now I come home to a friend, you know, somebody that's glad to see me, but somebody that's just going to be there and just so happy, you know. And you've got a partner. You've got a really good companion. It's good to have him at home, you know. You just feel good. You got somebody that loves you, you know.
Well, we've always had dogs. We've been married for almost 38 years, and we just recently came back to the United States after being in Vietnam for a long time. We just fell in love with her right away. Every time I go fishing, she has to go. And she'll sit on the bank with me for hours and hours, never get tired. She loves to ride in the back of our bicycle. We have a little basket. Now we're the type of dog owners that take her everywhere. Since she's so small, we can put her in a little carrier. We take her into Walmart and Lowe's, every place we go.
My first dog we married in 1975, and I'm keto, and then second one keto, third one keto, she's the 4th one. Because I just don't want the name of keto that lost in my memory. So like my dog never gone. And we really do love her. We just cannot live without her. You love us? Woo!
Well, I couldn't leave without her. As soon as I seen her on the internet, I knew I had to have her. She's approximately 6 years old. When we first got her, she was literally skin and bones. You could count every rib. Her backbone was protruded. She was very sick. She had to go through the heartworm treatments. It took her about 4 months to get comfortable with anybody picking her up or holding her, because she never had that before, since she was a hoarder dog, locked up in basically a chicken coop for her whole life. So she really didn't know what it was like to have anybody hold her and pet her and basically treat her nice. Because I've gotten very attached to her, and we've only had her 6 months, and I mean, I love her as much as I do the other two. I think the Humane Society is great. I mean, these dogs, where she came from, I mean, she would have died. I mean, if it wasn't for the Humane Society stepping in and taking care of her, which they couldn't do without, you know, funding from outside sources. I mean, there's a lot of animals out there that would otherwise die, and they would never get a good home. I mean, we love her. I mean, I can't imagine life without her now. I had to give her a home, even if it was temporary, even if I knew she was going to die. There was no way I could leave her. I figured even if she only had 6 months left in her, I had to know that at least for 6 months she was, at least knew at least once in her life what it was like to be loved. Now we have one of those magnets on the back of the car that says, "Who saved who?" But it's really true. I mean, I really feel like these dogs saved me more than I rescued them.
Thank you
for your generous
donations.
Because of you,
We're saving lives 4 paws at a time. Isn't that right, Daisy? Is that right?
Yes.
That was truly very moving, and it's so wonderful. We've got such a marvelous community here full of great-hearted people, and these dogs and cats and other little critters need your love, and they need your forever homes. Rebecca Neal is the President and Board of Directors of the Humane Society of Manatee County, and she's here next to share her story.
Hello, everybody, and again, thanks for being here today. And that video was great, and we have to give a huge thank you to Chris Izell, one of our board members. You can stand up. She is the president of Visual Harmony Productions, and she did all of that. Took a whole Saturday, interviewed all of those folks, and also Stacy Hines, who is taking a picture right now, but done a lot of photography for us. And so a huge thank you has to go out to both of them for doing that. And also, if you haven't friended us on Facebook, you have to see it because it's great. Again, the two of them have done wonderful things for the Humane Society on Facebook. And we are getting a new website as well, so please check back with that. So thank you. I also wanted to introduce and thank any of our board members that are here today. So any board members, if you want to stand up. I know you're here. Come on. All right. Thank you to all of our board members. And all of their service, all of their hard work. We couldn't do it without y'all. Also the committee that put together this event, our development committee, Gina Brulato, Samantha, Dominus, where is Samantha? Oh, there you are. Hildy and Amy and Chris again, and Paula. So thanks to everybody for helping out with this event today. I also wanted to recognize our partners in No Kill. You know, the Humane Society, we have been doing this for years now. We, we do the high volume, low cost spay and neuter, and we help out with TNR, and all of our programs that we have are to support that, but we couldn't do it without some of other animal welfare organizations. And so Gulf Shore Animal League, who does all of our trapping for feral cats and brings them to the clinic, Audrey Garrison back there, and Cheryl Wade, thank you, and Animal Services. And there's Chris and Joel Richmond over there, so thanks again. So a lot of thinking to do because without all of you as our donors, this really would not be possible. And I know it sounds cliche, but it is because of you that we're able to do and accomplish the things that we are able to do. Adoption, rescue and rehabilitation, TNR, spay and neuter. It's making a difference, and it's making a huge difference in this community. And like John said, it's making a better place to live and to be in. And so from the bottom of my heart, because this is very special to me, and thank you to all of you. And I can't forget to thank my husband also, who's always my biggest supporter and helps me through some tough times. And I love that we have this passion together and compassion for animals. So, but even with all that we already do and what we've been able to accomplish, we still have to turn people and animals away every single day. The need is still great, and the need to grow and expand our services to fulfill the needs of Manatee County are still there. And so here comes the part where I get to ask for money. But I hope you will consider continuing to support the Humane Society into the future. And some of the board members that I had stand up are your table captains, and I would like to see if they would pass out the forms at this time. And another opportunity to give, if not now, maybe later. I hope that you will consider it, or tell somebody else about the Humane Society and all the great work that we're able to do. So I think we can turn it back over to Amy, and thank you again, everyone, for being here today. I hope you enjoyed your lunch and the video. Thanks. And Rebecca is one of our regulars at the Humane Society. I said we're a lean, mean machine at the Humane Society, and she's part of that because she's there at least 2 or 3 days a week. We're bouncing ideas off each other. She's following up on things. She is truly a very hands-on and dedicated president of our board, and I want to thank all the other board members who do so many things to spread the word in the community. It's a great support for me in my position. We'll be celebrating 1 year, and it's wonderful. Thinking about that video now. On a lighter note, I want to tell you about some things that are coming up, and then we have a funny video, and then we're also going to do a drawing for all of you for 2 tickets to come back here to our event that's going to be here in March called our There's No Place Like Home Wizard of Oz themed event, March 22nd. You've all been to this lovely place. You know where it is. You know how easy it is to get to, accessible. We will have wonderful food by Fett Catering for that event, a wonderful, funny DJs, music, silent auction, live auction, things you cannot get anywhere else, like a trip behind the scenes to the Great Ape Sanctuary in Wauchula that's not even open to the public. So you're going to want to get that on your calendar. In your packet, in your little goodie bag, you do have a pen from Mixon's and some, if you need a pen for your form, or just take it with you and get it back to us later. We'd love to have anybody come by and take a tour of our facility. But the other thing is our Pause in Motion Walkathon that'll be coming up before the party on March 9th at the new and beautiful Riverwalk in downtown Bradenton. We're so excited about holding it there. Those are our 2 biggest fundraisers of the year, and we are just so excited about all the things that are happening in Bradenton that we get to be a part of with our events. So make sure you get that on your calendar. Also, here at this table, right here, we have our 2013 calendars for sale, filled with lovely pictures from pets, from owners who sent them in to us and raised money, and that's how they got in the calendar. And there's some really great photos in there and information about us. So it's a wonderful thing for $10. We would love to have you pick one up on your way out. Also, if anyone would like to have, one of the things that actually is a very successful thing for us is coin banks and businesses, and we have folks who go and pick up those coin banks monthly and return the money and return the coin banks. We could have more locations. If you have a location where you'd like to have one of our coin banks, please just stop here and pick one up and fill out a form, and thank you so much for those of you that are here that have coin banks in your businesses, because it really does make a difference. The Humane Society of Manatee County, which has been in business since 1973, has always been no-kill. We are a no-kill shelter. However, trying to have the whole county go no-kill requires the efforts of everyone in the community, so that at Manatee County Animal Shelter,
they can get that save rate up to 90%, which we are still working very seriously towards, and it's going higher and higher. It's been in the 70s, 80s, and I know we'll get 90 very soon. But then it's not going to just be done then. It has to have the whole community involved to make it stay, to maintain no-kill. And Chris Weiskopf is nodding over there. You see his columns in the Bradenton Herald every Tuesday. Please read them. There's great insights there about the whole movement. And TNR, few people have said TNR. If you don't know what that is, that's trap, neuter, and return or release. We're in a partnership with Gulf Shore Animal League and Manatee County Animal Services, which is really pretty groundbreaking. When I hear some people call from other counties, it's like, you do what with your county animal services? And the people don't go crazy about these cats getting let go back after they've been vaccinated, sterilized, ear-tipped, and microchipped. And we go, no, that's Manatee County. So give yourselves a hand for that. All right. And that is saving every one of those cats from being euthanized at the county shelter. Normally, if they were trapped and brought in or caught in a trap and somebody called animal services and say, I have this stray cat, feral cat, community cat, actually they're probably doing just fine. And as long as they're not reproducing, they're really not hurting anyone. So the idea is that we just make sure they're safe, they're going to live healthier being spayed or neutered, and they're going to go on just like the squirrels and the raccoons and everybody else who's out there. I think that wraps up our program. I want to thank everybody for coming. If you want to turn your sheets back into your table host or take them with you and drop them in the mail to us or give us a call, thank you so much for coming out.